you need to unmute your phone.
Hello?
Hi, ma'am. This is
Hello?
Judge Millard. If you'll please raise your right hand for me. You swear that the
Okay.
testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. And you can put your hand down. And if you'd like to proceed.
Yes.
You want to put on on our record about the citation for the respondent, Mr. Strain?
Yes. So, Your Honor, the state filed this suit for modification on August the 17th, 2020. It's actually a suit for modification of support order and motion to confirm support arrearage. Mr. Strain was served February the 3rd, 2021, and that has been returned to the court and it's in the court's file. He also received notice of today's hearing, which was delivered May the 8th, 2021 at 11:01 a.m. by certified mail return receipt.
Yes, ma'am. And the record will so reflect that the respondent has been duly served, failed to file an answer, or failed to appear, and has also been duly noticed for hearing today and has not appeared. I'm ready to proceed. You may proceed.
I also asked the court to take judicial notice of the prior order in the court's file entitled the Agreed Child Support Review Order Suit Affecting the Parent-Child Relationship ALP, signed 2008, ordering Mr. Strain to pay current child support of $400 a month beginning June 1st, 2008, and monthly thereafter.
Yes, ma'am. Court will take judicial notice. You can call your first witness.
The state calls Miss Freeney.
Yes, I'm
Miss
here.
Miss Freeney, what is your full name?
Keisha Nicole Freeney.
What is your child's name?
Cameron Ray Strain.
And who is ordered to pay you child support?
Alan Ray Strain Jr.
When have you modified this child support order before?
Never. I never modified.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Strain has any other children?
Yes, he does.
How many minor children does Mr. Strain have?
Other than Cameron, he has one more.
Other than your child. Okay. How is Cameron covered for medical insurance?
I cover her through my employer.
And how much do you pay for medical insurance?
$100, including her dental.
Okay. We were able to confirm today that Mr. Strain is in arrears for his child support in the amount of $3,090.07 as of May 31st, 2021. Is that correct, Ms. Freeney?
Yes, it is.
And you would like him to pay that back at $35 a month starting July the 1st, 2021?
That's correct.
And every month thereafter?
Yes.
Okay. And he does not have any medical arrears or dental arrears. Is that correct?
At this time, no. No. That's correct. I'm sorry. That's correct.
Okay. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
Okay, anything else?
I call Natasha Ledoux.
Yes, ma'am. And she was here. Where'd she go? She'll be back, I'm sure.
Okay. We need her.
I understand.
Who is Natasha?
Here waiting.
No, she was on here, but
Then
probably dropped.
yeah. We've been having some issues with the phone today because we've had in and out, going in and out. So I think it's the weather in the Gulf.
Oh,
Probably making things
weird. The internet has
faster
been
than usual.
a
Yes,
bit slow too today.
yes. So we'll give her a moment to get back on.
And what's her name?
It's Miss Badu. She's a testifying witness that's necessary for proving up of your child support.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we'll just give her a minute. If you don't mind standing by, ma'am, I appreciate it.
No, not at all. Not at all. Thank you.
Judge Millard, I'd like to call Ms. Freeney since we're here.
Okay,
Just ask her additional questions I have.
sure.
Ms. Freeney, you did sign this default order today, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you believe this order is in the best interest of your child?
Yes, I do.
And you're asking this court to approve that order?
Yes, I am.
I pass the witness.
Okay, thank
I
you.
won't have to ask her that at the end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Poor Miss Badu, I think she got lost. There we go. And Miss Badu, if you'll unmute, please. Whoop, there she went. There we go. You'll unmute and raise your right hand for me. You swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am.
You can put your hand down. You may proceed.
Ms. Badu, what is your full name?
Natasha Bidu,
Where are you employed?
the Office of the Attorney General Child Support Division.
What is your position there?
I'm a child support officer.
What is the nature of your responsibilities and duties as a child support officer?
One of my duties is to investigate child support or investigate, the wage information for non-custodial parents and calculate child support based on that information.
Have you received any special training to train you to calculate child support in compliance with the Texas Family Code?
Yes,
Have you calculated child support in this matter today?
yes.
What are your calculations?
Mr. Strain's gross monthly resources, $5,711.85.
And based on the information that you have reviewed today, what should Mr. Strain be ordered to pay for child support?
The child support amount ordered, that page is $788 per month beginning July 1st.
Okay. Your Honor, I'll pass this witness.
Okay, and that's based upon after your review and investigation.
Yes, and also giving credit for the $100 a month that he will be ordered to pay in medical school.
Thank you. Okay, any other witnesses?
I have no other witnesses.
Okay.
The
And
state,
Ms. Freeney, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask?
No, not at this time. This is
Okay.
effective July 1st, you said, right? I have it written down here, July
Yes,
1st.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And we have 788 and then 100 for medical.
And I believe that was
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes. All right. And the court finds that there has been a material and substantial change since the last court order. All relief requested is hereby granted per your proposed order. Best of luck to you, Ms. Freeney, and thank you, counsel, for y'all's hard work and testimony today.
Okay, thank you all.
may we
You're
be
welcome.
excused, Your Honor?
Thank you.
Thank you. Are we hanging up? We done?
Did she already sign the order?
She did, Your Honor.
Okay,
May we be
perfect.
excused?
You are excused. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Miss Freeney. Do I stay on the line? I'm
No,
sorry.
ma'am, I think we're through. You're done. So you can hang up. Thank you, Ms. Freeney. All right, are we ready on the Smith in Taylor matter?
We are, Your Honor.
Right. Now, if we can find our clients.
She logged off.
She did. She was on and then boop, there she went. So, okay. She'll be back. Now you're typing too fast when you put sweet instead of suit.
Did we lose her?
She accidentally logged off or was cut off, I think. So she should be phoning back any minute. Well, let's hope she calls back.
I'm trying to call her.
Oh,
and see if she-
no. She's lost in the telephone masses out there.
Voicemail.
So she's probably trying to call back if she's on voicemail.
Yeah, I think I remembered hearing her say something about her phone dying. So she was looking for a charger, I think.
Okay. Well,
That
that
might-
could be it too. Let's hope she finds one. That's frustrating. It's like my grandchildren, their phone is never charged. And mine's always charged.
Right.
But then I don't use mine that much.
Kids don't think to charge their phones that
Well,
often.
exactly. Plus, they're on theirs all the time.
Yeah.
And they're always blowing and going.
Going straight to voicemail.
And it's still going straight to voicemail. So
Oh, no.
we'll hang on for a moment here.
Okay. Her order just took a little bit longer. There are a lot of children.
There are. And that right there, that's a lot of work right there. So we must be patient with her.
It was quite a task for me.
I have one and that was too much. What was the date, if you recall, of the previous order? Was it April of 2015? That's what I think I showed.
Yes,
Okay.
April 21st, 2015.
Okay.
There's an enforcement and a mod, and I think they non-suited contempt.
Okay. I just want to make sure I was on the same page. Thank you.
Mhm.
Every time I hear that ping, hope springs eternal.
Judge, do you have a copy of the order in front of you?
Let me look and see.
If you don't, that's fine. I wanted to make sure we had to make a correction, and I wanted to make sure you had the most recent copy if you did.
Let me look and see. 2010.
Miss Taylor? Yes, can you please log into the hearing Zoom? We're ready to do your default.
She just got her on the phone again.
No,
So
there was somebody else. There was somebody else in the room.
She may have been confused and thought she was in the wrong thing.
I think you may be right. Is she calling back in? Thank you.
She heard you say hang up, but that was
Oh, she heard me
somebody
tell
else.
the other lady to hang up and she hung up naturally.
Oh, okay.
Mercy. I don't have it. I don't have it yet. So
Okay. I have it and I will submit it after the hearing. I just
perfect.
wanted to make sure we weren't submitting the wrong one.
No, and I appreciate that. So let's get her on the phone and get her testimony in. And then you're only going to proceed on your state's exhibit 1?
Yes, which is the financial activity report.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect.
And by chance, do you have a copy of the certified mail letter sent?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right, Ms. Taylor. Ms. Taylor, are you there? Ms. Taylor, can you unmute your phone?
Press *6 to unmute.
There you go. I'm so sorry for the confusion, Ms. Taylor. I was hearing another case. This is Judge Millard. If you and Ms. Williams, if you'll please raise your right hands for me. You swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. And Ms. Williams, if you'll unmute. Thank you.
Your Honor, I am an assistant attorney general here. I'm just observing Attorney
Okay.
Attorney Turner.
I thought you
while
were going to be
she's giving the
testifying.
hearing.
Thank you. Ms. Taylor,
No,
did
no.
you hear me? Thank you. Ms. Taylor, did you hear me? Ms. Taylor, can you unmute again? Okay, Ms. Taylor, can you hear me? Ms. Taylor.
I think she must be having some sort of audio issues because she's muting and unmuting, and I think it's because she can't hear us.
Ms.
Ms.
Taylor, can you unmute again, please? Can you say your name, Ms. Taylor? We're still having some technical difficulty. Ms.
Maybe
Taylor,
if she can hang up and call back.
Ms. Taylor, why don't you try to call right back, hang up and call back. See if that will work. Okay, she hung up, so let's see if we can get her back on.
Yeah, I think she can hear us, but we
Right.
can't hear her.
I'm sure that's very frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ms. Williams, I thought you were going to be testifying today.
Oh, no, you're okay. Normally, I'm just here floating about. I understand.
Nothing wrong with that. We're always glad to have you. It's nice to see some faces, even if it is on the video.
Yes.
Thought I heard her coming on. She call you? Ah. All right, Miss Taylor, can you unmute? Can you hear me, ma'am?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Hooray. This is Judge Millard. If you'll raise your right hand for me again, please. You swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. And you can put your hand down and we can proceed. Let's go on the record. Let the record reflect that the respondent, Mr. Smith, was served, has failed to file an answer or appear and was noticed to appear today, has not appeared, and I'm ready to proceed. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the state would ask that the court take judicial notice of the prior court order signed on April 21st, 2015, where Mr. Smith Jr. was ordered to pay $0 in child support and $150 in current cash medical support, both of those to begin on April 1st of 2015.
And the court will take judicial notice.
The state would also like to offer into evidence what has been marked as State's Exhibit 1, which is the financial activity report in this matter, which is self-authenticating.
States 1 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the state would like to call Ms. Taylor to the stand.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Taylor, what are the names of the 3 children before the court that we are seeking to establish the parent-child relationship with Mr. Smith today? Your youngest three children.
Ayanna Smith, Vanessa Smith, and Aiden Smith.
And at the time of Aiden Smith's conception, were you sexually involved with anyone else other than Mr. Smith Jr.?
No, ma'am.
And at the time of Aiden Smith's conception, were you married to anyone else or to anyone
No,
at
ma'am.
all? And are
No,
you
ma'am.
currently married?
No, ma'am.
And is there any possibility that anyone else could be the father of Aiden Smith other than Mr. Philip Smith Jr.?
No, ma'am.
And at the time of Ayanna Smith's conception, were you sexually involved with anyone else other than Philip Smith Jr.?
No, ma'am.
And were you married at the time of Ayanna's conception?
No, ma'am.
And is there any possibility that anyone else could be the father of Ayanna Smith other than Mr. Philip Smith Jr.?
No, ma'am.
And at the time of Vanessa Smith's conception, were you sexually involved with anyone else other than Mr. Smith?
No, ma'am.
And is there any possibility that anyone else could be the father of Vanessa Smith other than Mr. Philip Smith Jr.?
No, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to establish the parent-child relationship between Mr. Philip Smith Jr. and the three children, Aiden, Ayanna, and Vanessa Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Taylor, how are all 6 of these children covered for medical insurance at this time?
They get
Medical
Medicaid.
And how are they covered for the dental insurance?
Medicaid.
And at the time of your prior order back in 2015, I believe at that time it was stated that you and Mr. Smith were on and off and you were living together on and off. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you living with Mr. Smith as of today's date?
No, ma'am.
And who makes the day-to-day decisions regarding Ayanna, Aiden, and Vanessa?
I do.
And who takes these children to their doctors and dental appointments?
I do.
And who provides consistently for the general needs of Aiden, Vanessa, and Ayanna?
I do.
And has Mr. Philip Smith ever shown a desire or a willingness to want to be more actively involved in these children's lives?
Sometimes.
And has Mr. Philip Smith ever consistently contacted you just to inquire as to the general welfare regarding Aiden, Vanessa, and Ayanna?
No, ma'am.
And how often does Mr. Smith see Aiden, Ayanna, and Vanessa?
Every blue moon.
And when you say every blue moon, could you be a little bit more specific?
When it's convenient for him.
Okay. And so would you characterize his relationship with how would you characterize his relationship with the children?
Well, the boys don't really like goes with him. It's the girls that be going with him. But when they go with him, they don't want to be under him. They always want to go to his mom's house.
Okay. And so does he spend a significant amount of time with these children or no?
No, ma'am.
And based off of the testimony that you just previously testified to, is that the reason why you're asking this court to appoint you as the managing conservator of Aiden, Ayanna, and Vanessa?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to appoint Mr. Smith Jr. as the possessory conservator of these children?
Yes, ma'am.
And what county do you currently reside in right now?
Harris County.
And to your knowledge, which county does Mr. Smith reside in?
Harris County.
And do you have any intentions on moving outside of Harris County or the state of Texas as of now, as of today's date?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and what about in the near future?
Yes, ma'am. In the near future, I'm planning on moving out of Houston.
And where are you currently thinking about moving to?
Either California or either Atlanta.
And do you have family or a job situation possibly in line for those 2 states, possibly?
Ma'am, can you repeat that again?
And do you have any sort of jobs lineups for those states? Have you been seeking employment there in those areas?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe that you moving to either California or Georgia would be in the best interest of these, all 6 of your children or these 3 children?
Yes, ma'am.
If you move to those states, would you be placed in a better financial situation to provide for these children as you have been doing?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court that based off of that testimony to order that there not be a geographical restriction on these 3 children's residence to Harris County?
Okay, can you kind of explain to
Repeat
me,
it,
like,
that's fine. Are you asking this court to not restrict Ayana, Vanessa, and Aiden's residence to Harris and any of the surrounding counties so that you could
Yes,
move
ma'am.
to Georgia and Atlanta or Georgia or California should you
Yes,
get a,
ma'am.
and how old are Aiden, Vanessa, and Ayana?
Vanessa is 4, Ayana is 6, and Aiden is 8.
And in regards to overnight visitation with their father, Mr. Philip Smith, do you have concerns with them having overnight visitation right away?
You 8, okay. No, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and why is that?
I'm on the phone, Nancy. 'Cause, the reason why, because he's not responsible. Like he don't keep my kids. It's like he leaves my kids in the house by themselves.
Okay, and he's done that before?
Yes, ma'am. He just
And-
had ma'am.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
He just had Aiden and PJ. PJ is 9. He just had them 2 this past weekend, and he left them in the house by themselves. He had my girls, but they wanted to come where I was, so he brought my girls to me.
And how old are those 2 children that you're referring to that he left alone?
Aiden is 7, and Aiden is 8, and PJ is 9.
And how did you come to find out that the children had been left alone in the home?
Because I was at his mom's house, which it was Friday. I don't remember the date, but it was this Friday past. And my daughter Ayana had told me that they was in the house by themselves. And then when I finally got it, when they finally came home to me, PJ and Aiden told me they was in the house by themselves.
Okay, and so are you asking this court to order a modified possession and access schedule for a period of time until Mr. Philip Smith Jr. shows himself responsible enough to keep these children? And then once he's completed that, are you asking for the standard possession and access order to kick into play?
Yes, sir.
And you understand what that entails? You
No,
understand?
can you explain it?
You understand what's in those orders? Did you have an opportunity to speak to me regarding what is in those possession and access orders or how it works?
I think I remember you told me it's like different days. He have to like get them like for like 30 minutes or a couple of hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So we did discuss the modified the 4 phases in the modified, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you feel that those possession and access orders would be in the best interest of these 3 children?
To be honest with you, I really do, but I think in due time he would do better. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I was telling you earlier, that I know my kids love their daddy or whatever. So I'm just gonna like pull that issue down, and I know once I take you back, I'm not gonna be able to go back and redo it. But like the conversation we had earlier, my kids is old enough to call me if they in a situation. So I'm a bag that, if you don't mind, with no disrespect, let me bag that order back. He could just go ahead and get his kids.
Okay, and so if this court is not willing to not do any possession and access because we've already drafted the order and we're just going over it in front of the judge, would you be comfortable with a modified possession and access schedule and then a standard possession and access schedule after he's completed the phases in the modified portion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. To your knowledge, is Mr. Smith Jr. currently employed?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know where he works and what his monthly gross income is?
No, I don't.
And we had a discussion regarding the investigation that was done on Mr. Smith's income. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understood at that time that we were unable to find any current income information on Mr. Smith. Is that also correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that as a result of that, the gross monthly income is based off of the minimum wage presumption.
Yes, ma'am.
And to your knowledge, does Mr. Smith Jr. have any other children other than your 6 children?
Yes.
And do any of those children live with Mr. Smith?
No, ma'am. One of his, the son, Michael Smith, the one that he paid child support for, he stayed with Philip Smith's dad, and his other daughter stayed with his mom, and the other 4 stayed with their mom.
Okay, and so how many total children does Mr. Smith have outside of your 6 children?
12.
He has 12 other children?
No, he got 6 other kids. The total kids he have is 12 kids.
Okay, and out of those 6 other children, just to be clear, only one child, there's only one child that Mr. Smith has a child support obligation for. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you asking this court to enter a judgment for past due child support in the amount of $0? As we discussed, he is not behind on arrears, in child support arrears.
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to enter a medical support judgment in the amount of $0?
Can you break that one down, please? I want him to pay medical, but I just don't want the back pay. I'm just trying to. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not understanding the words how you use
The
it.
question.
So that's
Okay.
all I'm saying.
So we talked about Mr. Smith's arrearage in regards to the medical support, which is the financial activity report that we spoke about. And I explained to you that he does not have any arrears for past due medical support. Is that correct?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now going forward, in the last 4 years, has Mr. Smith and yourself lived together?
No, ma'am.
And in the last 4 years, has Mr. Smith provided financially for your youngest 3 children?
Sometimes.
And you are not seeking retroactive child support despite the fact that he has not been consistent with financial support. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are not seeking retroactive dental support or medical support. Is that also correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to order current cash medical support in the amount of $113 beginning July 1st of 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to order current child support in the amount of $387 beginning July 1st of 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
And you do not have any safety concerns regarding your address being disclosed in this order. Is that also correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't feel that if Mr. Smith had your would cause you or the children harm, abuse, or harassment?
No, ma'am.
And do you believe this order to be in the best interest of all 6 of your children?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to approve this default?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions for the witness. I'll pass the witness.
Yes, ma'am. Anything else?
One other thing, Your Honor, the state would just like to clarify for the record that I believe that Mr. Philip Smith did appear at the last court setting. However, he did not sign a reset, and I don't believe that appearance was made on the record, but I wanted to make sure that that was clarified. And the court should have before them the CMRR notice or the certified mail return receipt for the letter that was sent out to Mr. Smith in regards to today's hearing.
Yes, ma'am. And the record will so reflect. Thank
Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing further.
All right. And the court finds that Mr. Smith is the biological father of the children Aiden, Ayana, and Vanessa. The court finds that there has been a material and substantial change since the court's last order, and all relief requested is hereby granted per your proposed order.
Thank you, Your
so
Honor.
much.